Hi everyone, it's Danny Schur, composer, producer, co-writer of the Stan movie musical. Welcome to Musical Mondays, where we share our story in an effort to inspire you with yours. This is the top 5 ways to write a hit song. Let's get going. As I mentioned, I'm the composer, producer, co-writer of the Stan movie musical. I've been writing professionally since the 1980s. That makes me old. And these tips apply no matter what the genre, pop, country, hip hop, because in the end you want to write a song as old as time, that'll be a classic and a hit, but also able to be remembered virtually on first hearing. So the first question people ask is, what comes first, melody or chords, instrumental hook, or the melody? What I always say is, it's all about the melody. You might be triggered to get a melody from a great chord progression like but remember that chords are just what dresses up a melody. It's all about the melody. And remember as well that chords have a melody. The top note of the chord, but what you remember, what you whistle, what you sing when you remember the song is melody. Take for example Stevie Wonder, I can feel it all over. That's what you sing when you're walking down the street. The hook, the way into the song, is that groovy brass stuff. That's super catchy, but the title, everything that reinforces the memorability of the song comes from that simple melody. It's all about the melody. Here's the first tip for writing a hit song. Keep it simple. Keeping it simple is about keeping it direct and memorable. It stands to reason that what's simplest is going to be what's easiest to remember. The example I always use, one of the most famous composers ever, Beethoven. Check it out. That satisfies a rule I always mention, which is 2 fingers. One for the melody, one to outline what the chord structure might be. That's how simple you need to keep it. It's such a simple rule. Simple equals memorable. But I think we tend to forget that and wanting to show how smart we are with like overdoing stuff. So absolutely keep it simple. The second tip for writing a hit song, find a great title. This seems obvious, but this is one of those things where if you spend more time thinking about what your title could be, it's going to make the song. I also call this tip the clever turn of phrase tip. It's all about finding a phrase that would normally be one way that just has this little clever twist that makes you go, ah, when you hear it as a song title. Country has some of the best titles. Garth Brooks, Friends in Low Places. I got friends in low places. Because the phrase is, I got friends in high places. So classic country turn of phrase. I got friends in low places, in the bars that help me drown away my tears. Fantastic. But I mean, there's examples in rock. I can't get no satisfaction, but I try and I try and I try. That's a fantastic one. Another great one, Nancy Sinatra. These boots are made for walking. All over you. There's the clever turn of phrase. Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. So listen to your world, hear those phrases, maybe hear your uncle screw one up and go, that's a great phrase. My personal example, taken from my knowledge of the Bonnie Tyler song, Total Eclipse of the Heart, there's that line about, forever's gonna start tonight, forever's gonna start tonight. And I wondered, well, but what if it was just a one-night stand and the guy was a player and it wasn't going to be the start of forever? In fact, forever would end the next morning. And that's how I came up with the title for my first charting country song, Forever Ends at 8 a.m. Super, super important. Find a great title. The third tip for writing a hit song, follow the rule of threes. Now I'll start by saying the rule of threes is pretty malleable, but it's definitely the rule of no more than fours. In almost all works of art, anything that's worth repeating is worth repeating like 3, maybe 4 times. Will Ferrell, Happy, check it out. It repeats that main phrase 4 times. Africa, it's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. That phrase 4 times. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know that can't be bad. My personal example in the movie musical Stand, $50. A really obvious example of say the title 3 times. $50, $50, $50 in a half a year. So if you check out some of your favorite songs and the ones that are the most memorable, the ones that charted the highest and have done so for decades and decades and decades. So I can't stress enough this business of repeating whatever your main thing is 3 or even 4 times. And now the 4th tip for writing a hit song: leaps for drama. So most writing for the human voice is relatively close together. It's scalic. It's one note right beside the other. Here's one of the most recorded songs in history. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every... See how scalic it is? The melody is all one right beside the other. But leaps for drama are what you need to get the most emotional impact. One of the songs that's built on leaps for drama, one of the most famous songs of all history. Look how it leaps for drama. Big leap, octave, where? 6th, 4th. You get the idea. It's leaping around, and it has such an inevitability to it in the way it uses those leaps and then comes down the scale. So when you need to employ the big gun of emotion, leaps are great at that. And now the 5th tip for writing a hit song: use structural melody. So this tip is the one that you can spend a lifetime learning about. Structural melody. You know how some melodies just have this inevitability and you can kind of feel where they're going to go? It's because they're structural. So what we mean by structural melody is the melody has certain spine notes around which some figuration, some decoration, some cruising around this way and that way occurs, but you can hear the inevitability of what's going to happen based on the spine or the structure. And there's 4 types of structure. We'll deal with this in another video, but they are basically from the top all the way down, from the bottom all the way up, or a U-curve or a hump. By employing this technique, you're just building in memorability. So let's take a look at Somewhere Over the Rainbow as the perfect example of a 8 all the way down to 1 structural melody. So it starts with that big leap to the 8, octave, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So talk about baking in the memorability. It literally goes you get the idea. Take a look at some of your favorite songs and you'll note how they have a pattern that is adhered to and it's structural. So this, of course, is a complex principle. Like I said, I've been writing professionally since the 80s, and it still amazes me how when I implement a structural melody, my songs are all the more memorable. So take a look at your favorite songs or reanalyze the ones you've written and see if they can be improved with the use of more structural melody. So that's the top 5 tips for writing a hit song. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to subscribe and click the notification button. These tips that I was talking about today about writing a hit song are evident in the soundtrack of the Stan movie musical. The link to the Apple Music site is in the description below, or you can click the little Apple Music icon in our channel artwork. Thanks, and see you again.